to you.
And hello everybody, welcome back to another Friday video. Now, first things first, but for my subscribers, just a quick update. I'm going to be starting a new series on Friday, or at least I'll hope to, called Fan Choice Friday, where I am basically going to be playing a game I see in the comments. I'm going to be trying it out. Now, I do have one request. I request that it is on PC. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but I would request that it's on PC, and 2, that it's free, and 3, that it is family friendly, because that is what we're all about on this channel. So drop a comment down below. Yeah, what games you'd want me to play, and I'll make sure to play them. Now, today I'm going to be making a video. We're going to be talking NFL today. Now, this may be permanent, this may be not, depends how, or it may come back. It may not. It depends how the whole Fan Friday stuff pans out. For now, it's Football Friday though, so we're going to be talking some NFL. We're going to be reviewing all the divisions, what the playoff hopes are looking like, and all that. So we're going to be starting off with the AFC East. It's been an interesting season for the Buffalo Bills. Obviously at 7-3, they had an embarrassing loss to the Browns. I know they lost to the Patriots, and I do not know the other team they lost to. It's been an interesting season for them, for the Bills, and I think they'll go places. I think they're making the playoffs. It will definitely be an interesting road to get there, though. The Patriots are obviously one of the most scary teams in the NFL, especially if you're playing them in the playoffs. They've pretty much had a super strong performance against everyone they've beat, except, of course, their one loss, which was against Baltimore. And last week's win against Philadelphia, they did not look too hot. I'm not going to lie, the Pats did not look too hot. Now, if we look down at the Jets, they've honestly been disappointing to me. I thought with Le'Veon Bell, Sam Darnold, Jamal Adams, I thought that they would be doing better. I didn't think they'd make the playoffs, so I thought they'd be doing better than 3-7, man. And here we are with the best team in the NFL, the Miami Dolphins. 2-8 season, that was obviously an exaggeration. They've really just... They're not a disappointment because I honestly had zero expectations for them anyway. Didn't think they'd be doing like second to last worst team in the NFL bad, but that's just how it's being. So, yeah, obviously, Dolphins fans, I'm sorry for you. You're having a disappointing season. You can't find a quarterback. You've just been wrestling between Rosen and Fitzpatrick. Rosen's really an interesting character because, obviously he got drafted by the Cardinals. They didn't give him an offensive line. Basically said, here, you're going to turn this team around single-handedly, and if you don't, you'll get killed. Because, they don't have an offensive line. So, yeah, he couldn't do main wonders with that Cardinals team, which is what you should expect when your quarterback doesn't have an offensive line. Very few quarterbacks have I seen that actually succeed without an offensive line, one of those being Aaron Rodgers. Although, you need an existent person back there. Anyway, we move to the AFC West, and this is a really interesting division. The Chiefs have been nothing short of a slight disappointment because... obviously last year they had a really good record. They were the most feared team in the NFL. And here we are in week 12 or something? And they're 7-4. Now, they've still been having a consistent, ish season. Patrick Mahomes was hurt for a few games there, but honestly, he wasn't the reason they lost any of those games. Matt Moore played great. against both. I forget who they played before the Packers. He played great against the Packers too. Chiefs need to fix that defense, man, if they want to make a run for it in the playoffs. I think they will make the playoffs, but yeah, man, they just gotta fix that defense of theirs. Their offense, though, still one of the scariest in the NFL in my mind. Them and the Ravens, like, tier 1, man. Then we have the Raiders, who I think have surprised a lot of people. As you can see here in their record area, they're a lot better at home than they are away. They got blown out by the Packers. They beat the Colts. Got blown out by the Vikings. They did get blown out by the Chiefs too at home. But overall, I think they've done a lot better than they thought. Turns out those $2 billion draft picks that John Gruden had in the first round are panning out. Josh Jacobs is looking good. Cleveland Farrell is looking really good. So I would, especially with the move to Vegas next year, I mean, Oakland is that's where that team belongs. That team belongs in Oakland, in my mind, because they've just always been the Oakland Raiders. But I think the move to Vegas will help them out in the long run. Now we have the Chargers, and man, if you want to talk about disappointment, they looked good against the Packers. The Packers had their worst game of the year, that game, and they're bad, man. The Chargers are not playing well. They almost beat the Chiefs. I'll give that to them. They almost beat the Chiefs. They just got... I watched the game against the Raiders. They got demolished by the Raiders. Overall, man, they have so much talent on that team, and I get they lost Derwin James. I get Melvin Ingram is fighting through an injury, but you should be so much better than you are. You have so much talent on that team, and you just haven't been able to do anything with it. You can't blame on Melvin Gordon, because Eckler did better than Melvin Gordon while he was out. I don't know, man. You guys just need to fix your problems. Broncos, I don't think anyone had huge expectations coming in the offseason. They're wasting Von Miller's career. They got Philip Lindsay, who's a big playmaker, and they have stuff to be excited about there. Interesting to see what they're going to do with their rookie quarterback in Drew Lock. That'll just be really interesting to see how they build around Drew Lock. They lost Emmanuel Sanders. He went to the San Francisco 49ers. So that'll just be interesting to see how they're able to build around Andrew Luck. And their defense is looking stout too. So now we move on to the AFC North. A one-man party. Oh my. People did not underestimate the Ravens. I think everyone thought that they would be making the playoffs this year for sure. We didn't know that they would be blow the Patriots out good. Lamar Jackson is insane, man. And people are talking about Christian McCaffrey for the MVP race, and I get it. Christian McCaffrey is just a monster as well. But if you say that Lamar Jackson is not the MVP of the NFL and definitely not the MVP for this team, I'm sorry. You're wrong. Lamar Jackson is just absolutely just tearing it up. It looks like they're on a 6-game win streak too. The Steelers, they're a bit disappointing. Obviously, Big Ben got hurt, so that definitely shook things up quick. James Conner has been dealing with an injury. Juju just he looked like he died for 20 seconds on the field against the Browns. They've been pretty disappointing. I think people expected more from them. I think that the Steelers should be better, but obviously that injury with Big Ben has taken its toll on them. They have playmakers on defense, so Joe Hayden, Bud Dupree, TJ Watt, Devin Bush is looking like a really good draft pick, so that's panning out for them quite well. Now we have the Browns. And this is another team, when you talk about disappointing, man, you think of the Browns. They have so much talent on that team. Freddie Kitchens is just, he's bad, man. I don't know. It seems like there's no discipline or respect in that locker room. What Myles Garrett did last Thursday to Mason Rudolph. Rudolph did bad stuff too. He was taunting him and stuff. Okay, I get it. But Myles Garrett, what he did was inexcusable. At that point, you're using a helmet as a weapon. And I don't know if any of you know this, but if you use a weapon to assault someone, like outside of football, that's against the law. So I think that the suspension and the fine is more than reasonable. I think the NFL made the right move there. And sorry, Odell Beckham, you deserve better. And then the Bengals, yeah, you're the worst team in the NFL. You're not really a disappointment because no one expected you to do anything anyway. Your fan base, oh my, they're saints for putting up with what they put up with. And yeah, that's all I have to say. You're wasting Geno Atkins' career, Joe Mixon's career, AJ Green's career. Not that he has much left, but yeah, congrats, Bengals. Now, the AFC South, we have the Colts and the Texans. Very narrow race. Both have the same amount of wins, same amount of losses. Colts are on top because they got that win against the Texans. Rather surprising one in my mind. The Colts have been a surprise. I would have been disappointed if it wasn't for Andrew Luck leaving, but they've blown out my expectations for what they've had to deal with, man. After Andrew Luck announced his retirement, I don't think anyone expected the Colts to do anything. And Jacoby Brissett has filled in that role so well. Marlon Mack, great back, although he did just fracture his hand. Rip Marlon Mack's hand. And that defense, man, Darius Leonard is awesome. That's really the only player that I know by name, but I know that defense is nothing to be overlooked. Their offensive line is playing well, like they could be one of the best in the NFL, and their coach is just a genius. Did I say coast? I meant coach. Now, for the Texans, this is about where I expected them to be after losing players like Jadeveon Clowney and that guy, last name Joseph, forget his name. They lost a good corner in Joseph. They lost a good outside linebacker in Clowney. And then people are like, well, at least they still have J.J. Watt. Well, now that's out the window. So Texans, you're going to have to sneak into the playoffs. You're going to have a difficult challenge, but I think you guys will make the playoffs. I think you can pull it off. Deshaun Watson is playing really well too, man. That guy is like right behind Lamar Jackson. But yeah, surprising loss for the Texans. I mean, I knew that the Texans were going to lose to the Ravens. That wasn't a question, but it's just the deficit of how much they lost by. Just disgusting. Now we have the Titans. The Titans are always that one team that you look at and you're like, yeah, you're the definition of average. And that's definitely the Titans team this year. They benched Mariota, which I didn't expect, until I remembered Ryan Tannehill was on the bench. Ryan Tannehill's a very underrated quarterback. I think that was a terrible choice by Miami to drop him. He's a pretty good quarterback, and I think that he could lead the Titans places. They're not making the playoffs just because the Colts and the Texans are a better team than them. That defense is stout. But I mean, just like your kicker's name, suck up. You guys aren't making it to the playoffs. I'm sorry. Now for the Jaguars. Jaguars, what is up? You had that one playoff run in, 2017? Your defense is so much better than how it's playing. Your defense should have, carried you. And the fact is, you guys have playmakers on offense. Chark has been exploding it. Even your tight end, O'Shaughnessy. I don't think anyone knew his name coming into the season. He's blowing it up. Gardner Minshew filled in that spot very well while Nick Foles was gone at the start. He started to kind of wander off at the end of that. Now Nick Foles is back. You're not making it to the playoffs either. I'm sorry, but you guys are a good team. If you guys just won games, man, you would be off so well. And Leonard Fournette should be doing better. your defense is just so amazing. I don't understand. Obviously, you guys lost Jalen Ramsey, so that's a big hit. But you still have AJ Boye. You still have Barry Church, I think. So yeah, the Jaguars just need to get their stuff together. Anyway, how long has this video been going? 15 minutes. Yeah, I think we'll call it a video. I just covered the AFC. Who knows? Maybe I'll give it another week for people to suggest their games that they want me to play, and I'll see how that series turns out. So next week, you can expect one from the NFC. But anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next wave. But remember to drop what game you want me to play in the comment section below. You guys heard the rules. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you all on the next wave.